Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is well. Happy Friday evening. We are here live on BodySlamNet for Know Your Role for the SmackDown post show. It is myself, Miss Krssi Luv, and I have my girl, Miss Astrid, here. She's filling in for Miss Stephanie Hypes. We really appreciate, she really came in, she did the hot tag. The hot save really fast, and we appreciate you for coming in and saving the day for us because listen, life is lifing and people have children and people have lives outside of this. I think people really don't realize that, and stuff happens. So we are here to help our fellow sisters, and we appreciate you, Astrid, for coming in. How are you today?
Yes, I'm doing okay. How are you?
Good here. Let's do this SmackDown review. How are you feeling about today's show after Raw? I feel like they give more emphasis on Raw than us, but hey, we're here for for SmackDown. So thank you guys for showing up. We're a little earlier than our tweet said, but hey, if you're here, you're here. We appreciate you, and if not, tell a friend and let them know to watch us on our channel. Yes, but we're here. Solid show for a Friday. It's summertime now officially, and people are outside. It's graduation season, so it's a solid episode for people to be home to watch SmackDown. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I feel like with the build up towards Money in the Bank, I feel like it did really well tonight. It was better than I thought it was gonna be, especially with that ending. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I feel like it did really well.
Yes, because we didn't really do much Money in the Bank. We did a couple of them on I say SmackDown. I mean, I'm on Raw, but I feel like we had more on our show per se. But yeah, definitely, and people that I didn't know would won these matches for tonight's show. Correct me if I'm a lot of people surprised me. The people that you would think would win, it was like, no, let's give it to the other people that's never been in these matches at all.
Yeah, not only that, but I noticed between I think it was 2 to 3 matches, we had I don't want to call it jobber entrances, but only one person got an entrance out of the three, and it was ironic the people that won them too. It was so kind of awkward in that timing, but it worked for them.
They definitely got the jobbers entrances or wins or whatever, but a lot of people were not broadcast on television. You're like, oh, we're having a triple threat match. Okay, who are we having? And then it's these 3 random people. And we're like, oh, okay, thanks, okay, sure. And we're having these matches, and the people that you would not expect won. So hey, I'm happy that they're going in different directions. And it shows that we want change and we want things to be different, so we don't have to have the same people and make it so predictable. I think is a good thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to also give opportunities to other people, especially talent that are kind of newer to the brand as well. It's give them an opportunity to really shine out there and be in this match that they've never been a part of before.
Yes, so yes, I agree. Let's just say hello to some people in the chat. We have Bernard. Hello, Bernard. How are you? Hills Mark. Hello. Thank you for being here with us. He's saying Chelsea Green. Yes, we'll get into Chelsea in a minute. But overall can't complain. So let's just start our show. It's in Chicago, so we know Chicago is what? CM Punk land. No matter what company this man is on, everyone flocks for CM Punk. Chicagoland. You would think it'd be Michael Jordan land, but nope, it's CM Punk land. I come from the Michael Jordan era. Basketball was a big thing when we were in the 90s, and he was that guy. So now it's called CM Punk land. Right, Chelsea?
Yeah,
I mean, right, Astrid, sorry. Right, Astrid, I'm so sorry. I'm reading the comments still again. But, I mean, we see what CM Punk did last weekend where he did his, debauchery. Mind you, he's not even a SmackDown guy, but he's yet here on SmackDown on Fridays. And of course, they let most people just do what they wanted to do. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I think the only difference with the Punk one is that he advertised it before it happened. Usually, like
Right.
this kind of happening without no announcement, and he even said he's like, I'm gonna skip Raw and I'm gonna go to SmackDown and give it an announcement of if anything, if I got cleared to wrestle or not. But this is the only difference with what we had before, because in the past somebody would just show up to the other brand and vice versa and not even say anything
Right.
about it. That's
Right.
the only big difference with this one, but I didn't mind it because it's Chicago and it's a one time thing. I just, as long as it doesn't keep happening every single week, that's fine. But this is knowing that it's Punk and it's Chicago, we knew it had to happen somehow.
Right. I feel like everyone just like he's still like on the shelf per se, and they're like, oh hey, we're gonna be in Chicago. We need you to come. And he's like, sure, that's where I'm from. Sure, I'll be right there. Maybe he still lives there. I don't know. But anywho, like he's like, yeah, I'll be there. And like you said, it is something like, sure, just don't let it happen often, but we can tolerate these things like once in a blue, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yes, I'm here. We're here for it. However, CM Punk comes out. Hi, Gregory. CM Punk comes out. Everyone gives him his his thing, and he's talking. He's doing his spiel as he usually does. When CM Punk goes on a rant, he goes on a rant, and I feel like he went on a rant. This happened for like good, like I want to say like 20 minutes. I could be wrong. Somebody in the chat tell me exactly how long he ranted on for before Paul Heyman came out.
Yeah,
Paul Heyman comes out, huh?
It feels close enough to that time.
Right. Yeah. I mean, listen. Usually at this point, certain people they'll let just rant, and they'll give them a good 10, 15 minutes. Some other people get 20 to 25 to 30 minutes. It's whatever. It makes the 2-hour time go by fast. Like we're not complaining. But him and Paul Heyman have exchange of words. They have a little bit of talking. I can't remember how much of the rant of what it was that they were spieling about, but nevertheless, I feel like Paul Heyman is grasping for straws at this point. And Paul is just like saying, someone give me a lifeline and just help me get out of this thing that's like the twilight zone that I'm in right now, because I have 3 other guys that's over here that's just giving me like, that's not what I signed up for. But somebody left, Roman left, and now he's just stuck here working as a wise man to some other people that he doesn't want to be a wise man to.
Yeah, and probably don't listen to him anyway, because they really don't. So he's being a wise man to nobody at this point.
Right, exactly. Like right now, he's not being a wise man to nobody because these guys think that they know it all. The young kids, they just know, oh no, I got this. Don't worry. And then they'll need the elders' help once they like fall down to grace and like need help. But CM Punk says, I don't acknowledge anyone here. This is a fake ass bloodline. I was like, okay, this is good stuff. This is fine. We can use this whole, the run of like, keep having this run of the bloodline per se, because these guys are not the bloodline. These guys are like just fillers till we get to, I guess, wherever they're trying to get us. Maybe it's Survivor Series War Games. I don't know. But right now we have no signs of, we can't tell when these guys are coming back. So right now they've been off since April, and we can't find them. But we have the younger kids, the younger generation saying, you know what, we could do what those older guys do. We could probably do it better than them. And I feel like that's what's going on in Solo's head, and he's now putting batteries in other cousins' backs that will now come to the cookout and like, hey, we're gonna fuck this shit up.
Yeah,
do you agree?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, it just I get like, for example, I hope I'm saying your name right, Jeffrey. Like he says it's like Timu bloodline. It's kind of similar in that type of way. I like when Punk goes like, no, the fake Usos in here.
Oh no, not Temu, like the brand, like when you buy stuff, not Amazon, but Temu. Like you have Shein, we have Temu, we have AliExpress, we have all these things. So you're saying that they're like the low budget they're like Dollar Tree version of the bloodline. I mean, that's what I have in New York. We have Family Dollar, we have Dollar General, we have the and Family Dollar. So we're just saying like equivalent to what Temu is like Family Dollar. The
Yeah,
discounted
pretty much.
version.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Good job, Jeffrey.
I mean, Punk said it himself. He called them the fake ass Usos. I thought that part of this was, it definitely got me when he said that. It was funny in that aspect.
And
But
it's
it just,
because
like you said,
everyone
it
is
just,
thinking it.
yeah, it just feels, it definitely feels like a filler at this point until everything really starts building up again for the bloodline to reunite.
And I'm fine with letting the younger cousins or siblings, friends, or whoever, like friend of a friend, classmate, whatever, come in and now fill in this whole gap to let like the next chapter of the story go on. And that might not be a good chapter of the story, but it will still happen in the story nevertheless. And we can deal with like those fillers to now go through everything to make sure we get to the story and the bottom line of how we want the two to meet. Yep. So let them be the fake ass Usos. It's okay because we don't have Usos right now. One is injured and one is now, over on Raw. He's doing what he needs to do. So we can have the cheaper version for right now. It's summertime. A lot of people are not even watching TV shows, so we'll have them come. Yes, the cheap version. Thank you, Jeffrey. Hi, Amanda. Yes, thank you. We love you. Appreciate you, friend. But yeah, so this is what happened as the beginning of the show, and then I don't remember how Cody Rhodes got involved, but he came and saved CM Punk from getting attacked from the bloodline per se, and I'm like, this is interesting. How will we now have these two gentlemen now aligned together? I guess because everyone has a common denominator of an enemy, as in the bloodline per se. So now, Cody is there to like help save people or whatever. But okay, sure, I'm here for it. And then we have, we get something later on for what our main event is going to be.
Yeah, for this one though, I expected more of Randy and Kevin Owens to be the ones to be the backup, not Cody. I know Cody's involved with the bloodline, so I wasn't expecting one person. I was expecting two. That's the only reason why. If it would have been two, then I would have expected just Cody. But I really thought that Randy and KO were gonna be a part of this. And then when only Cody came out, I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then that's when he says later on, yeah, it'll be me versus you solo for the main event. I thought when stuff like this happens, this match barely lasts, and then we're gonna get the real match at the pay-per-view.
And the pay-per-view,
I already know it.
Yeah, I mean, when is the pay-per-view? Was it July 1st? I want to say, like, or is it like?
I don't remember. I know it's in July for sure because it's Money in the Bank. I forgot what day it is.
It's Money in the Bank. I don't remember the date, guys. If you're in the chat, just let us know when the date is or whatever. But anywho, I mean, listen, it's something that's happening. We gotta fill in. We gotta fill in these next couple of weeks till we get to this pay-per-view. The pay-per-views are like, I feel like now they're coming back to back. Like they're almost like 2 weeks apart. Like it's like payday now. It's every 2 weeks.
Yeah, this one it says July 6th.
Okay, so it's 3 weeks from now. 3 weeks from Saturday, basically. It's like they're coming in every other week now. It's like you can't even keep up. You don't even have time to keep the storylines intact, basically. But tonight, SmackDown kind of like held away, and we had like several qualifying matches. Right after these promo exchange, and Cody and Solo say they're going to go to fight each other. We now have our first qualifying match, and it's a women's match. And I was like thoroughly surprised and happy that they let's start these qualifying matches with the women. And we have Bianca Belair, we have Chelsea Green, and we have Michin. Start off our first qualifying match. And let me let you know. Once I saw this, I was like, Bianca's a shoo-in to win.
Yes.
I would like Chelsea to win, but Bianca's winning. Let's just call a spade a spade. And, once I saw, as I watched it and I saw the outcome, I was like, okay, I like where we're going already. Let's not give the obvious answers and the obvious people a chance to be in this thing. What are you thinking? Are you're in line with me?
When I saw first of all, I was really annoyed because I wanted all three of them to be in the match. So when they advertised this, I was like, why would you do this to me? That means only one of them is going. The other two are not, unless they do like a last minute kind of spot and somebody of the losers of the previous matches win. Somebody wins that one.
Yes.
But since we don't have anything like that yet announced, I kept thinking, oh, I want all three of them in the match, and then I only get one. They're like, that's not fair. This is already a good match as it is. And the same thing happens with the other ones too, because next week is Candice versus Jay versus Tiffany. That's one of them. And then Naomi versus Blair Davenport versus Indy. It's like, there's so many options here. And I feel like there's all good options. So I hate it because I don't know who to pick. But again, this one, it really surprised me though. And I really liked how we had a lot of the match, even though it ended up being Michi on one side and then Bianca on the other one, having Chelsea as the common denominator.
Yes.
But I like how they interacted with each other, because at one point Bianca hits Michi by mistake, and then she like goes, "Oops!" Like, I didn't want to hit you because you're like the baby.
I'm sorry. Like, oh girl, I'm sorry. Forgive me. I didn't mean to hit you. Like she ducked and you just happened to beat it. Like, girl, I love you. Like that's what her face looked like. Like, oh, she was like, oh shit. Like it was a game of spades and she done messed up and put out the wrong book. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like that.
Yeah. I love the timing of that, because it gives you more of like, oh, they're baby faces, so like they really don't want to like hit each other. They want to go against Chelsea, who's actually the heel, and they actually were like basically double teaming her. So you don't expect Chelsea to win this, but there was a moment that she almost had the 3 count. Now, well, imagine if Chelsea wins this actually. And then when it just happened towards the end, I was like, I literally screamed and my parents got scared when I screamed. I was like, I'm sorry. Just like, it was surprising, but in a good way. I'm very happy for Chelsea. It's like Chelsea for Money in the Bank. I love this campaign. I think it will be great for her to have her as Money in the Bank. I don't want to get my hopes up, but again, it's a good opportunity for her.
First of all, Chelsea is she's going to overserve and deliver for this match. Yeah. She probably will not win. I would like her to win, even though I don't know who is going to be in the match with her, because I know she's going to be obnoxious and annoying. She's going to be like, so like, let me speak to your man. Like, she's going to carry the purse. I mean, the briefcase. She probably make it something else. Like, who knows what she'll do, but it'll be something like so exciting and something so good that it will make it like, make people interested in Money in the Bank again. And for this match, you're like, oh my God, like they made this match. I'm like you said, I wouldn't have been mad with all 3 of them even being in the match, but we had to choose one. And the one that was chosen, I didn't even think they would have given the chance or the time of day. So, I mean, kudos to them. Gregory said, y'all realize the jobber's entrance was the opponent's one. I didn't realize that until you just pointed that out. Well, as we go on to the next matches. But yes, a lot of the people that jobbed or the jobbers got entrances before while we were on commercial. So yes, I'm excited for Chelsea to be a part of this. I think, was she the first person in, or somebody got already picked already?
No, Io from Raw. She's the first one from SmackDown.
Yeah, so right now we have Io from Raw and Chelsea from SmackDown. Listen, I was actually shocked that they put Io back in because she won last year. Yeah. But hey, I know for a fact she's not winning again this year. I mean, I don't know, but I would bet all my money on that, saying, you just let homegirl win already. We're not letting her win this one. There's no way. But whatever. But I'm excited to see what happened so far. And then, you know, once that happened, we got Chelsea winning. We now come back from a commercial break and we see Drew McIntyre. And Drew McIntyre said he quit on Monday. So you quit for 3 days? So you got unemployment that fast? Like, I'm confused. Like, what happened?
I love how this was set up though, because it was Gargano and Ciampa talking to Waller about giving up in there, and then they're getting interviewed and they hear a noise and they all leave the area and they went lift up that kind of like, I don't want to say garage door, but it's like the parking garage.
The parking garage, like to let the cars in. Like, yes, they lift up the gate.
And I love how you see first is Punk on the ground, so it makes me think he must be kind of clear because he would have been taking these bumps with Drew if it wasn't clear. That's the first thing. And then as they keep raising it up, just the fact that you see Drew just standing up on it. Somebody pointed this out on Twitter, and I didn't think about it until later. Punk really just made an embarrassment out of Drew in his hometown. So Drew the same thing to him in Chicago. And I was like, I love that too. The fact that he did it, it's like, you did it to me. I did it to you. Yeah, me neither until later. And I was like, that's a really good tip. And I really like that part of the storyline. I was like, you embarrassed me when my home country, I'm going to embarrass you in your hometown. So we're even now. But even this part, seeing the blood, the lifeless body of Punk, just like everything, how we came together. and even just Drew carrying him the way he did. He took his AJ and Larry bracelet from him and just started posing. He left. I was like, this was chef's kiss. I loved it.
I don't know who was behind this, but I need them to get a little bonus, like give them a couple of $100 or something. I don't know what y'all salaries are, but chef, like you said, chef's kiss to whoever did this story, because I did not have this on my bingo card of Drew getting screwed in his hometown. So you know what? I'm going to go to my hometown. And this is what CM Punk gets for talking too goddamn much. Because if you didn't say anything, he wouldn't know where your whereabouts were. And this wouldn't have never happened. Yeah. But I digress. And I love how they did this story. And I love that how he left this person. You know what? You screwed me out of my title. I'm going to beat the bloody hell out of you. And then he left a lifeless, bloody CM Punk on the ground. And I'm here for all of this story, this long term. This story has been going on for like since January. Yeah. Because was it Royal Rumble that he showed up? Was it long term storytelling? Like this has been going on for now. Well, we're in June, 6 months. Yeah. It's gonna keep going on. They're not gonna touch each other. I feel like until probably like the end of the year, maybe. Let's hope it's SummerSlam, but I doubt it. Mm-hmm. He's gonna keep saying, "I'm not clear yet. I'm not clear yet." They're gonna prolong this longer than expected.
Yeah, I think he might be like semi-clear at least because of the bumps that he took tonight based on the like attack. But if they did it for SummerSlam, it wouldn't surprise me either, and I will be glad if they do it that way. Like you said, this was going on since January because Punk got injured during the Rumble, and then everything happened with Drew starting there. And I like how even though we get it on a weekly basis, it like alternates in the way they deliver it. So it's not always physical; it always changes somehow. And I really love how the interactions they have with each other so far. It hasn't been boring at all, even though it's been 6 months.
No, right. They're keeping. I mean, I didn't really like the ending of how they did Drew's part at Cash at the Castles, but nevertheless, we're here now, and we've gotten, because I feel like it was very lazy for them to do that story of like, we've done the whole referee part, we've done this part, like, and they got the back of the referee, and we're like, oh, that's who that is. So I feel like it's very lazy-ish, but it has been 6 months, so we're trying to like get this story like done and one and done, basically. I feel like that's what it is. But hey, I'm here for it all. Keep it going. I'm happy how it's going, and tonight's just solidified how we're going to continue to go into the whole thing. Jeffrey, you are on point today. Are you the only one that wants to talk to us today? I mean, I can show all of your stuff. You know what I'm saying, Jeffrey? I hey, we're dressed.
Oh yeah, they did.
They did have definitely similar outfits for sure. That is very true. We will never hear the end. Listen, next week. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at with Tiffany getting a spot though, because you know what? She's gonna show up and show out. She's gonna give you a couple of good bumps. She's gonna give you a couple of good high rise. She's gonna jump off the thing. She's gonna be great. So
yeah, and I feel like they're doing great with the matches, because even like you said, going back to like the next one, it's Carmelo with Randy and Tama. Carmelo doesn't even get an entrance. I think Randy was the only one that did. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, okay, they're just having time today with the entrances. It's a trend, I guess, is happening tonight. Sure. Yep. And it's just the fact that we have like Kevin Owens coming here because Tonga comes in here, gets involved. Kevin Owens like, I'm gonna try to take you out, and then Tama goes after them. And the moment that Melo just steals it, it's kind of similarly to how Chelsea did it. So it just makes you think of like, we're giving the opportunity to the people that we usually don't have in matches like this. And I really like seeing that trend so far and what it's like. So it was like, I like it happened with Chelsea. I like that it happened with Melo. And it's like, I feel like that was really well done with Melo as well, especially taking a victory from of all people like Randy.
Exactly. I totally agree with you. Again, Gregory, thank you for pointing out the fact that the people that won didn't even get an entrance. I mean, Tongaloa had like a semi-entrance, but they cut it really short. And we got Randy that got an entrance and Bianca that got the entrances. Like no one else really got an entrance per se, unless you were there live. And for the fact that they won the same way with a roll up and kind of like a steal for the win. It's actually pretty great for these guys because, again, this is Carmelo's first Money in the Bank on the main roster. So this is great for him to be in this position. He's probably not going to win, but this is a great position for him to learn and do something in a big match on this PL. What do they call them? PLEs?
PLEs.
Yeah, PLEs. Whatever. Anywho. But overall, I mean, again, solid match. I did not see Melo winning. I saw Randy winning. And look, I don't mind being, disappointed. Not even disappointed, but being wrong in the fact that I assume that it would have been like the bigger star that have won.
Yeah.
So, overall, great. And, I'm here for it. After that match, we have LA Knight come out. And LA Knight, he's talking about, going against Logan Paul. And, who he's rivaling with right now. And they've been going back and forth. But now he's talking about being in the qualifier match for the Money in the Bank for next week, Friday. He will be facing Logan Paul and Santos Escobar. And I'm like, again, wow, you guys throw Santos in here. I'm like, well, Santos, as we've seen tonight's event, will Santos be the one that, put the other two on the side and he will be the one that's in this match? Like, it's so many ways. Like, I mean, Logan can lose, but he don't have to be pinned because he's already a champ. LA could be pinned and it's okay because he still is going to go against Logan. So it's like, Santos, he can be the winner.
Yeah, and I kept thinking the same thing. So because at first we get LA Knight with Santos, and I was like, okay, what's really happening here? And then they have the back and forth, and then all of a sudden Logan comes because he said Logan wasn't in town. Once Logan attacks him, and they actually tell us, oh, this is the match for next week. I thought, well, based on the trends that we have already, I suspect we're gonna get Santos winning it so far. I don't see Logan being a part of it. It's just unless they do Logan and Knight in the pay-per-view for some reason, or they just skip it. But I don't see LA Knight or Logan winning when they're going against each other, so it just feels like it's Santos on this one as well. That's the only one that it feels kind of like a given, but with the way it's going, you never really know. But again, it's like, if they keep going with that trend and give in to Santos too, I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, again, keep it with the trend where it's not the obvious choice. So now we have these two bigger, they're all good big stars, but we have the bigger stars, and we're like, oh, let's give it to the other one. And I was like, okay, wait, if you add him, Melo, and who was the other one that like qualified? We're already like,
yeah, it was a trend because the other one that happened was Kevin Owens versus Andrade versus Grayson Waller. Yeah. And again, similarly, you're thinking, oh, KO's going to win this one. He's going to be the one in the match. And then Grayson, obviously being a tag team champion, you don't expect him to be in the match. And all of a sudden, Andrade gets in. I was like, what is happening tonight?
Right. It's like we give it to all of these guys. I'm like, I like the way that they're going. It's like, it's not the obvious. Yeah. So now, like with the Money in the Bank, the way they're going, especially like for the men, he's like, damn, who can we pick as our win? It's like, it's not a like easy pick.
No.
Because you already put in guys that's never been in this match already. And I like this. This is something new, fresh blood, and this is going to be so good, whoever wins this whole match.
Yeah, because so far, I forgot who was the first one, but we have Melo, and then we have Andrade, and then who knows if we get Santos in it already as well.
Right, I don't remember who got it from SmackDown, because I think we got somebody from SmackDown. If you were in the chat, just refresh our memories. I mean, listen, it's Friday. We've been through a whole week of wrestling, like we can't remember, so per se. So it's happening, and it's it is what it is. After that, like you said, we speak about like that previous match. Andrade wins. Then we see an backstage segment where we see Nia Jax. We see Michin and we see Tiffany, and then we're like, okay. And then we see Michin just, get attacked and is on the floor. So I was like, Nia was pissed. Nia was not in the mood, and Nia was like, okay, yeah, girl, whatever. This is what's happening. And, they just show up for their match for next week. So we have Tiffany, well, we see Nia. I mean, we see Michin already in her match. She lost. So we have, I think it's
Yeah.
Tiffany, Jade, and
And Candice, yeah.
Candice. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tiffany wins, but then they might give it to Jade. Who knows? So it's so many things that could be different. You know what I'm saying? So
I think for that one, it'll be interesting though if you do put Jade to win because of Bianca not winning. I feel like that can kind of ignite something between them of like Jade winning the match and then Bianca doesn't. So it's like
yeah,
instead of going for the tag titles, you probably might get the heel turn from Bianca and Jade being the face here. So I feel like it could be an option to something that could be brewing there. Or if we do get that Jade loses the match for some reason, then we know for sure they're still going for the tag titles at some point.
yeah. Yeah. It's gonna. I don't want them to cause friction between the ladies, but it's going to cause some type of like back and forth between the ladies. And I know that Bianca's more of the teacher of the group, and Jade is like, oh, I kind of got like, I got this. I've been doing this or whatever. But so I think that's how they're gonna like put the two against each other. I hope that that's not the case, but it seems like that's where they're going. So, I mean, we'll see what happens for next week, Friday. It should be interesting. I mean, poor you, yeah.
Lucy, I think we lost you. Yeah. I'll give her a few minutes. Yeah, she got kicked out. But I'll continue on what we had afterwards here. This is before the main event actually happens. Solo, it's about to go out, and Paul Heyman is talking to him, and is basically saying like, Punk is off limit. It's something that Roman had said before. So he said, "Oh, it's okay because Roman is not returning." So the way his facial expression, based on what Heyman is saying, is like the fact that he has heard from Roman and Roman say he's not returning is something that really shocked Heyman. But it's basically Solo saying like, "We're gonna go on our own route. We don't care what Roman has said." So I think that part is interesting as well there. And then for let's say the main event, we had Cody versus Solo, and for this one, it, like I said before, it's something that I was expecting the match itself to be kind of short because we're really not getting this match on a free SmackDown programming. It's something that will happen towards the pay-per-view later on. There we go.
The devil is they want me to be great. I promise you. My Wi-Fi just like went out on me. I'm like, I was there. I was talking. I'm like, what happened? Oh shit. Okay, we got to almost to the end of the day show. Like, what happened?
I thought it was me at first. So I was like, let me give her a moment. I was like, if I don't see her movie, then it's not me.
But I'm here, guys. I'm here. Okay, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Yeah. We're talking about the main event. When it started, it barely finished as we got Tama and Tangaloa coming in here going against Cody. Yeah. It's something that we expected it to happen because I was like, it's going to happen on the pay-per-view. So we're really not going to get this today. So that automatically happened. And like we said at the beginning, being that it's, the 3-on-3, then we get Randy and Kevin Owens coming in here for the save. But what I liked about this, I didn't realize it though until I saw the video again on Twitter, is that where they're basically cornering Solo as he's by himself by the post there.
Yes,
literally pleading in the corner, and I was like, yeah, something's happening here and then I didn't notice his facial expression though, because he goes from like please don't do anything, and he's like starts smiling, and obviously that's when you get the crowd reaction that something's actually happening. And then all of a sudden we got Jacob Fatu, and they said Jacob so far, which I like. They didn't change his name so far. Hopefully they don't change it next week.
Well,
hopefully not. So that was good.
Because they did that to what's the other one? Tangaloa and Tanga.
Yeah.
Leia, what they changed it to something, but I was like, why y'all just didn't like?
Yeah.
You guys obviously like them so much that you wanted to pull them in. Leave them alone. Let them have. Let people know them by this names from the company that they were in. Let it be. But I'm happy Jacob Fatu's name is still the same. I'm like, wait, hold on, where he come from? He don't look like the other two. I was like, wait, is that who I think? I was like, oh shit, that's Jacob Fatu. I was like, oh, okay, guys. This is what we're doing. Okay, this is how we put the nail in the coffin for the next person to join in. And I'm like, because I was like, well, who's gonna fill in for them if they do this whole bloodline saga? You know what I'm saying? Like, who would be that person? And it's Jacob. It's like, oh, we got four big strong guys. Like we got it's a shoo-in. You add the Rock,
they
and it's over.
too. Yeah, we went from having 2 of them to now having 4. And one thing I didn't notice too that somebody posted on Twitter as well is the fact that when they do the number ones for acknowledge the ones,
yes,
you notice the faces on Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga that they look like they're scared because Jacob
they
is
was
here.
like when at the end they was like, let me put my one up real quick.
I love that.
He was like, let me put my one up real quick. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, is this what's happening? Like, this is what we were doing? Okay, sure. So
I think it's also interesting when you have that like extra layer too on top of it. When you think about the fact that even the guys are scared of Jacob, so I'm like, for the guys to be scared in the same group.
Yes, like it's not. They don't all get the same Paul Heyman look because Paul Heyman's scared to death. It's like Get Out, like blink if you help, like like he's blinking, but no one is helping him. Yeah. So it's showing.
Poor dude has asked like what 3, 4, 5 people for help at this point, and nobody helps him.
Yes, he has. He's like he went to CM Punk, he went to Drew McIntyre, like he's going to all the other guys outside of the bloodline saying, "Hey, I need help," but you don't see you're not hearing the cry for help.
No, when I heard the reaction though, I thought it was probably Hikuleo at first. And so I saw he was, I don't want to say tinier, but he's a little bit smaller than Hikuleo. So that's when I went, ooh, that's Jacob. And I was waiting to hear what commentary said. And if I'm mistaken, it was Corey that said, oh, Jacob Fatu. And he was introducing him to Wade, basically. So I was like, okay, I like this so far because he's still Jacob. Just don't change it to something else later. So just keep it this way. People know him this way. And even the crowd reaction, because the fact that he took out Cody, Randy, and Kevin Owens all before coming into the ring again and posing with the group, that just shows how big of a threat he really is. Of just doing this by himself.
Right. He's definitely doing this by himself, and he's like the more of like the dominant cousin of the faction itself. Like he's the more like crazy one, of the one that's like, all right, we're not really like telling him anything, but he's gonna just show up with us or whatever. Like we're gonna like he's like the nut job of the whole crew of the if that makes sense. Like he's the one that's not, he's not gonna rational with you. He's like he's the unhinged one.
Yep. So yeah, that's how we ended. I like that we ended both shows with like such a big exclamation point going to the next week. I feel like it doesn't happen that it happened consistently for other shows like this. So really well done there too.
Yeah, I solid start to like how we're doing Money in the Bank. I'm excited. I can't wait for next week's show to see how we get the next winners, because again, with a unpredictable night, we might have another unpredictable night for next week. So I hope it keeps us that way. I hope they keep the same energy and give a whole new line of girls a new chance to like make a whole new rendition of what Money in the Bank is supposed to be like.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep it going because it's just giving an opportunity to highlight to other people, and you make it less predictable, and it's something that we like to see too.
Yes, I listen. Money in the Bank is like not one of the like biggest or main like pay-per-views you want to watch. So for them to be starting off the pay-per-view, well, not even starting off the paper, but like selecting these girls to do the pay-per-view is a good start, I want to say.
Yeah, and as Jeffrey was saying, Brandy tweeted Jacob who? Because she just tired of all these people coming too.
Listen, you shouldn't be talking too much now. You don't want you listen. Brandy, if I was you, I'd be like very quiet and keep my comments to myself, because you don't want nobody to hurt your man. So let's just keep it as is. Anywho, thank you guys again for joining us tonight. We really, really appreciate you. Solid episode. We're gonna put our hands in the middle and we're gonna rate this episode. And we're going to put in what we think, and we're going to do it in 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Yes, Karen. Hey, we give it a thumbs up tonight's episode. What do you guys give it? I give it a good like 7.5-ish. Overall, not a bad show, I want to say. Not a bad show. They've done things in a good way. We can appreciate episodes like this for a SmackDown on a Friday in June on a hot day.
Yeah, really well done. I would say, for me at least, I feel like it was a good show. I'm not gonna give it like a 10, but maybe like a 9 or 8.5, like close enough that it was really well done.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Like it's something that's it's done, and we want to see what the end game is going to be, and something solid for a regular summer night in June for a Friday. Some people don't even have to be home watching. They'll be watching later on a Hulu or on something else. But anywho, but yes, we thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys for joining us, being flexible. Carmen, we thank you for joining and Astrid for coming in and stepping in and being here for us. I appreciate you so much for coming in last minute, like literally, like you're like the hot tag that came in to help us. I really, really, really appreciate you for doing this, because I thought I was going to have to do this by myself. But Astrid, we really appreciate you. Thank you again. Tell the hot people on in our chat where they can definitely find you and follow you, and what they should be doing when they see you on our channel.
Well, I mean, you can go see my previous interviews of Astrid that are on the channel so far, so you can definitely check that out here. Aside from that, you can find me like my name, Astrid Pizarro. That's my Twitter, Blue Sky, and the Instagram and Threads is Astrid Pizarro 20. But yeah, if you haven't yet, go check out my interviews. I believe the first one, it's almost at 1,000 views. So if you haven't checked that out, please do. That would be really appreciated. Hopefully more coming soon as well. So there we go.
What's up? Get you on those 1,000 views, girl. Let's go. Woo woo. Good job for that. Thank you again, guys, for watching with us and being patient. Again, like, life has been life, and Stephanie and I, we both have children, we have families, and things has just been like one thing after another. So, we didn't do last week's show because it was pre-recorded. So we just like, okay, F that, we're here. Last minute, she couldn't do today. So we still gave you guys a show, and we just thank you and appreciate you guys. Guys, you can follow me, Krssi Luv _1 on IG. Twitter is TrueHill Krssi Luv. Please like, share, and subscribe to BodySlam.net. Share our review of SmackDown. We really appreciate you. You don't have much girls doing a SmackDown review on a Friday. It's summer. We could be doing plenty of other things, but we're here entertaining you guys, and we just love the back and forth with you all, and we really appreciate you guys. So thank you again for just taking your time. You don't have to be here on a Friday with us, but again, thank you. And yeah, that's it. We will see you all next week. Join me tomorrow on the True Hill Heat flagship show. If you watch our channel and are there on Saturdays, 11:05 a.m., be there, be square. We're going to talk everything this week that will happen in wrestling. I'll be there with SP3. And if not, you don't have to see us. You can join Astrid on Monday. Thank you again. Yes. Sorry again. It's been a day. Please forgive me.
You're forgiven.
Other than that, guys, have a good night. We appreciate you. Good night. Thank you again.